soul, feeling the loss of control in a spirit so colorful. If you feel it, then let's go home to a place where you belong. Giving strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise.
Take me home to the banks of the riverside. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the riverside.
Oops, that wasn't supposed to be on there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Toon Review. Tonight it is of course, the fan forum. If you do want to come and join us live on the show, you just need to hit the link at the top of the comments, and that will take you through to StreamYard, and you can come and join the three of us live on the show tonight, where I'm sure a lot is going to be said regarding transfers. I think Danielle's a little bit pissed off. So we will come on to Danielle very, very shortly. The Carlos bid is looking dead in the water at the moment, unless we up the money a bit more. Sevilla keep upping it every 20 minutes or so, and it's now around 46 million euros. So it's just going up constantly, and it's really doing my head in now. Lingard is still all up in the air. Dele Alli's all up in the air. Everything is up in the air, and it's starting to become a little bit annoying, given that we have less than 7 days left now of this transfer window. Danielle, your thoughts on it so far?
Disappointing, really disappointing. I feel like this tag of the richest club in the world's just backfiring, man. Like, they're just mugging it off left, right, and centre. We're just adding more money on, taking for a ride, and I just think we just can't get any luck, man. I know we've got Trippier and Chris Wood, but I mean, I don't really know what to say about Chris Wood, really. But I know it's better than it was under Ashley, but I just feel like everywhere we turn, we're hitting a brick wall. It's getting times limited. I'm not looking forward to Monday at all. I know they're trying, and I'm grateful, and I feel that we should be lucky that they are trying. I believe in them. I just think that everywhere they're turning, they're just getting barriered by something. It's just frustrating, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is really annoying, because it's not the players that we're going for; it's the actual teams that own these players, and it's just like a Newcastle United tax coming into play, which is very, very annoying. As soon as I see Newcastle United knocking on the door, Alex, it's sort of up the value.
Yeah, and I don't know where we turn from here, because some of the alternative linked players could just go the same way. Like Adam Webster, as people have said. I mean, Brighton got a lot of money for Ben White. They're playing well. They're high up the league. If we throw money at that, they might just do the same to us again. It's a tough one. I feel the same way as Danielle. I can see the owners are trying so hard. They did look for directors of footballs. They have tried to get help in. They acknowledge they need help. They just keep getting messed about.
I mean,
don't know what to do.
There's a comment there from Pedro, and to be honest, is everyone not sick of hearing personal terms agreed with player, but then their clubs decide to ask for stupid money, get the player price agreed, then personal terms? I think that's a better way around it, because what's the point of us negotiating personal terms all the time when these teams are just going to turn around and say, well, hang on a minute, let's just hold the phone a minute. We're going to up the price. It's another 5 million if you want the player. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I think they were expecting things to be the other way around. So I think they probably were expecting a problem in attracting the players that they want to the club.
Yeah.
And I think they found that the personal terms haven't been the problem. And perhaps, they weren't expecting it to be, I know they were expecting it to be tough, but not like this. Maybe, I mean, I'm doing my whole match day thing where I get like overexcited just before the game and start firing out ridiculous like predictions and stuff. But maybe it'll happen on deadline day. Maybe in terms of Diego Carlos, he's clearly a very unhappy player. At the moment, he wants to come. They're not letting him come. Maybe it can be done closer to transfer deadline. Am I clinging to hope? Yes, because until it's over,
it's all we have
over.
right now. It's all we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Rashid over in India says the Reims president mentioned the impossible clause that Newcastle had in offer of Ekitike about winning the Champions League. Thoughts on that? Well, listen, I don't really care what anybody else says now. All I care about is just getting players in, and at the moment, we've hit a brick wall with quite a lot of them. But that's not to say that things won't. This transfer window it's rocked sideways. It's gone from good to bad to good to bad all the way through the month. So I'm not going to sit here and say no deals are going to happen, because I have a feeling that we are going to be the busiest team in the world football on deadline day. I genuinely believe that because we have to be. And if we're not, we're staring relegation down the face if we don't bring anybody in. That's just what I think. Now, we've got some guests coming on as well, so a rowdy bunch. We've got Ryan, Dublin Dave, we've got Brian coming on, we've got Chris, and we've got Roy. But before we speak to you guys, something happened tonight in the world of social media and content.
John Sinclair.
Wait a minute. It was incredible. It's simply incredible is the only way I can describe it. Who's got me on loudspeaker?
It's the guy with the phone on the bottom left, probably. It's one of the phone users.
Coming through.
Yeah, you're on my headset.
Okay, that's better. Right. So something happened tonight, and I could not quite believe what I was seeing and hearing. And it was just, when you have a double take to everything, and you think, what on earth is going on in this world? For something like this to be not only said, but this person also is alive. So I just want you to just take a look.
Toon's that's about 5 minutes ago, but there's no secret there. In got me dancing, Collar, good lad. I'm sure you can strut your stuff, by the way. Like Michael Jackson, the great late Michael Jackson, by the way. Should go for the young lad for the championship. Moore Leicester, he's a real handful. Have you heard of this guy, Moore Leicester?
Not really seen too much of him. I've heard of him, but I've not seen a lot of him. Some championship players can actually do quite a good job, to be fairly honest. You look at Armstrong, who at Southampton bought this season, and he came from Blackburn, and he's done pretty well. So they can easily put a shift in. But what I think you need to do as well, if you are looking at players, you need
more Leicester.
It was the way he said it after Michael Jackson as well.
Yeah.
Don't let John know about this. We got to keep doing that to him, making him fall for the bait.
More Leicester. And the fact that Maisie said, I think I've heard of him.
I've heard of him, yeah.
I don't know too much about him. Well, he played for Sunderland quite some time ago. Ex-Sunderland and Man City player. We'll not mention his name for legal purposes, but if you want to look up more Leicester playing for Sunderland, then that's you're quite welcome to do that. Ryan, talk to me. Transfer window. What's going on?
Well, just before he started, breaking news. Fabrizio Romano says that we've submitted a bid of, I think, 40 million euros for Lyon for Bruno Guimaraes. And this is a bid to the club. There's no personal terms like you guys discussed. It's just a bid that we placed for them.
The one that won 60 million, though.
Well, no, don't read that part. He's got to listen to Fabrizio, and he says we just put an offer in.
Yeah, Fabrizio is the man.
He's the only one I trust, guys. Don't trust like Mike Oxlaw from the Daily Mail or any of these guys.
Well, I wouldn't trust Mike Oxlong either, to be honest. Matthew's not nervous about signings at all. Martian Leader says, hello, everyone. Can't believe we're at day 25 already. Just seems like yesterday we were waiting for the market to open. Yeah, and it was going to be like Christmas for Newcastle United fans. Unfortunately, it's not the case. Brian, good evening.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
That doesn't sound like a Geordie accent.
It's not.
And where are we based in the world?
I'm in the U.S. and Florida.
Nice, nice. Newcastle fan?
I am.
Good, good. What's your thoughts on the window so far, Brian?
I think it's been pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, that's putting it mildly, to be honest. I mean, I went off it with Barry yesterday, or the night before, because Barry said he was rating the transfer window 10 out of 10 for Newcastle United so far. You know, it's not good for my rage when people say that to me, because it really isn't. I mean, Roy, good evening from the sweet country of Qatar over there, and with your black and white flags and your palace and your butlers and your cappuccinos and your whatever it is.
I've got one right here.
I thought you might. How's the last week gone for you?
I was in quarantine until yesterday. I watched the game at home. I was happy with the result, really, and I was happy with the ball bastard cheer thing that you did. I recorded it.
Somebody's actually made an actual sort of timestamp of all my quotes.
We need to get a T-shirt made.
Yeah, listen, they're in progress, mate. Don't worry. There is quite a few T-shirts in progress of getting made with 6'10", take your face for a shite, you beautiful bald bastard. There's lots of T-shirts going to be made with various quotes on them, so don't worry about jellyfish. That. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they came up with a jellyfish one. Like, I mean, that sting me ass with a wet jellyfish. It's not exactly going to be dry, is it? You know what I mean? If it's stinging my ass.
Yeah.
But hey ho. Chris, good evening.
Yeah, hello, guys.
How are you doing?
Not so bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. What's your thoughts on the window? Are you optimistic of any more signings?
I'm actually shitting it, to be honest. I'm terrified. If I'm not at work, I'm spending so much time just trying to get as much information as possible, and it looks like it's going south for us. Yeah.
It's not great at the moment. I mean, PD Proudlock sums it up here. He says, right now it feels like we couldn't get a turkey from Aldi for 40 million quid.
Correct.
Evening, Paul. I think you should get on the phone to Amanda and ask her to build an ice rink back in Durham. Well, maybe. John's stream was funny, especially when he called Maisie babes. Oh, he always does that. Anyway, Gary says, Ryan Room, he's exactly what we need. Defensive midfielder and an international too. I take it he's talking about...
It's Rayom, actually. But yeah. No, I'd be a right back. That's what I played when I grew up.
That's just arrogant French-Canadian shit, that right there. I just like to hear something concrete and not all this speculation. Can't believe half the stuff that's been reported. I mean, we know that. Hi all. I still reckon Carlos will be through the door by the end of the transfer window. They need the cash now for Martial, and now we threaten to move on. I think it's more of a warning to Sevilla. No doubt going to be another entertaining show tonight. It probably will be. I mean, Danielle, are you optimistic of anything happening here? Or are you just sort of in kind of limbo that you just don't know because clubs are playing funny buggers every day?
I'm optimistic because I'm always optimistic. You know, in terms of what Barry said last night, I kind of get what he means.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he means it's been a great window, like a fab window. I just think it's been better because we've been bidding for players and we've done something rather than nothing. Do I think we'll get Carlos? Nah. I think we're done. I think we've moved on. Unless they come begging and say, take them and we'll have this amount of money, then I don't think so.
Well, that's what we need to do, isn't it? We need to say to these clubs, right, there's the offer. Enough. We're going no higher. Enough is enough. You're not taking the piss out of us anymore. That's the final offer. We're walking away. Take it or leave it. Which is why I think the likes of Lille and Sevilla will come back and panic closer to the window closing and think, shit, we need this money and we need it now. And if they do panic, I still think we'll get some business done closer to deadline day.
But do you not think that they're well aware that we're in that position as well, that we're panicking? Because obviously they may lose out on a bit of cash.
Yeah,
but we could lose out on the Premier League here.
Yeah, that's very true. Ryan, are you sitting in a furnace?
Yeah, well, I just unmuted briefly just to say something. So for Carlos, I think we'll bid one more time, and then if I think it doesn't go through, we'll move on and find some other target, or wait till deadline to go for him or Bobman again. That's what I think, because I think we might have underbid, because the value that Sevilla have wanted the whole time has been, I think, like 45 million euros, which is like 37 million pounds.
Yeah.
And like we've bid a bit under that, so I think we should just match their value, like just a bit more, and then we get them, because they're trying to.
Good point.
Cave from Sky said that they're trying to offer him a new contract, but Carlos apparently still doesn't want it. Like he's still keen on the move. That's why the whole personal agreement's been done.
Yeah. Ratchet says soon. I think it will be the bite my ass with a jellyfish moment for everyone if we don't get any signings in. Yeah, I don't want people to be bitten on the ass by jellyfish, to be honest. We've really fucked this transfer window up, says Josh. Chris, there he is. He's actually on here, so we don't need to read that out. But hey-ho. Who's this team we call United? Well, ask John Sinclair. I'm still laughing at John Bless him. Someone needs to help this lad, please, please, please. We should not just pay the money for... we should not just pay the money. That's the worst we can do. Our owners are wealthy business people. They didn't amass their wealth by just paying whatever people say. Glad they're sticking to their guns. I mean, Alex, they've got to stick to the guns, haven't they? That's how they make the money in business. It doesn't work by just throwing millions of extra pounds at these clubs.
Yeah, I agree completely. We can't overpay, because it will come back to bite us. We will, whether we go down, stay up, do well, is irrelevant. In 5 years' time, we will be a better club, and we will be trying to challenge for things.
Yeah.
We cannot be sat here going, oh no, FFP, oh, if only we hadn't done that or paid that. We have to look at the big picture. We can't just pay crazy amounts. But Ryan's right to an extent. We didn't actually bid the asking price, which a lot of people are very confused why they've rejected the bid. Well, it wasn't there. That's not what they asked for. They asked for 37. We bid 32. It's not a shock they've turned that down. It's a little bit, I think people are just like, they're enjoying writing stories about us. We underbid, they rejected it. It's not surprising. I don't know what the fuss is about. It's reasonable for people to reject a bid if it's not their asking price. They actually did quote what Ryan said, 45 million euros, I think a little while ago.
Yeah.
So strange one. It's a weird one.
Definitely. Dublin Mag, I mean, it's frustrating, isn't it? I mean, are you at the point of horrible frustration now, or do you still believe something is going to happen?
I believe something's going to happen, but I have just stopped looking at it all now at the minute. I just want to see someone holding up the jersey on the pitch. But I do think a lot of them are going to come down to the last minute, like you were saying about them panicking and needing the money or something like that. Like, and we mightn't get everybody we wanted, but we might have to settle for some other players as well. But we just have to take it as it comes. Look, I know it's going to be, they are going to play hardball with us, and fair enough. But we have to just take it as it comes, and you can only play with the cards you're dealt. Like,
yeah. Ab says here that no one has fucked the transfer window up. If clubs won't sell, there's nothing you can do. That's right, isn't it, Brian? I mean, you approach for a player, but the clubs are sort of digging the heels in. We can't really do much about that.
No, that's true. And we all know January is a really tough time to begin with, to bring in transfers. But going back to Carlos, if we're only bidding 5 million under, I mean, I don't see the problem. You've talked about it a lot, Paul, bidding 20 million over, but 5 million, and maybe if we get one signing in like Carlos, maybe it'll start the ball rolling.
Well,
They
we've said that
bumped up,
quite a lot,
didn't they, from our original offer? So they kept bumping it up, apparently, when they said we wanted 30 there's the 30, we then wanted 35, and it kept bumping up every time we was meeting it. So I think even 5 more million, if we offered it, it would still be a case of, no, we want an extra 5 on top of that. I don't think that'll stop.
Good point. Toon Dave says, good evening, Paul, Danielle, Stato, and Dipsy. Good to see you all. Oh, Dipsy's really starting to become a star now. Unbelievable. We've bid 40 million for Bruno Guimaraes. What is his name? Guimaraes?
Guimaraes.
Yeah, he's Brazilian, so funny Portuguese noises.
Yeah. Which is exactly the same as what's coming from Ryan's dungeon at the minute.
Yeah. Well, I've had a little look at him, and he is, he's a monster. He's like, imagine, what's his name again? Bissouma. He's like Bissouma, but better. His stats are ridiculous. His statistical profile matches N'Golo Kante and players of that ilk. That's the kind of stats he's matching up to. So that would be a crazy buy if that is real. If that's true, then wow.
I mean, look, there's a lot of... is it safe to come on here, Paul, without setting you off? Yes. Asif. Lovely channel, Paul. The best Newcastle channel on YouTube. Keep up the good work. Cheers, Anthony. Appreciate that. Toon Dave says the Newcastle tax is starting to get a bit tiring now with these other clubs. Just give us a price and then we can bid. I mean... How would you negotiate, Roy? If it was you going in, would you bid under what a player's worth, or would you try and just say, look, he's valued at, let's say, hypothetically, this player's valued at 40 million. We'll bid the 40 and go from there.
Well, that's why you'll have a technical team in the club, and they can evaluate the player or give it an estimate. So they'll say, okay, Carlos is worth 30. We're not going to pay more. And then that's the number they'll offer Seville. And Seville might say he's worth 37. So it's up to the club at that moment to say, will I pay that extra 7 or not? And really, if Newcastle doesn't want to up the bid, we should just move on from that player now. Or just give him a final bid, let's say 35 or match the 37 if you really need him.
Yeah.
Because where we are now, that 5 million might make the big difference between staying up or going down just for 5 million.
We have matched the bid 3 times and they've just turned it down.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. That's a good point, because we have 3 times we've gone to Sevilla, 3 times with what they've wanted for the player, with what they've quoted for the player. And now 3 times they've changed their mind and upped the price again. So whether we think what Carlos is actually worth or not, they have upped the valuation 3 times on our original bids. Now, how is that possibly fair? I mean, you know, it's clearly a sort of Toon tax, if you like. We may as well call it the Toon tax, Danielle, because that's what it's starting to sound like.
It is. It's you know what? It's ridiculous, and I just worry if we could easily just go in and buy who we wanted and just pay the price they want. But then where does that leave us in the summer? You know, when and Jesse Lingard, I was reading something about a 6 million loan fee being turned down by Manchester United. I don't know where that came from or if that's true. I think it's ridiculous now, and something has to give. And I think we will get somebody, whether it's somebody that we're talking about now or somebody that we don't know about. But yeah, we can't keep paying inflated prices. We just can't. We can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a comment there from Richard saying, understand that we shouldn't be paying over the odds, but we forked out 40 million for Joe Linton. Surely 38 million for Carlos is reasonable. You could say that, but also Carlos is a lot older. You have to take into Joe Linton's age into that factor. And whoever scouted Joe Linton for £40 million needs a rocket up their ass and sent to the moon, quite frankly. However, he's starting to repay a little bit of that feedback. In his
I think he's making that value up now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, to be fair. But whoever scouted him as a forward for 40 million quid needs to be removed from the planet. Mark says, fair play to Newcastle for not being held to ransom by clubs. Other clubs trying it on because of Newcastle's wealthiness. And he's right. And that's all it is. You know, if we hadn't had a takeover and we went in and offered Sevilla, I mean, not that we would under Mike Ashley anyway, but if we did, then there's no doubt, I have no doubt that Sevilla would have took the first offer, Alex, simply because they knew we weren't rich.
Yeah, there's definitely something fishy going on there. They are definitely, I would say, doing certain bits of this on purpose, because they are paying Martial's 200 grand a week wages, which is massive for them. A lot of their players are on 50, 60, 80k. So Martial's on 200. They need to sort that out. And they've come back and said one of the reasons was They feel like they can challenge for the league and they want to give it a go, despite drawing their last 2 games.
Yeah.
Which has not helped them. That excuse just doesn't seem to make sense. I understand Real Madrid also drew, but they've drawn their last 2 games. They're not. They seem to want to have a crack at it just because they've got Martial and they think they might be able to try and catch. But
he's going to do it for them.
He's rejected their contract, their new offer. So
exactly. Can we all give Susan a big shout, please? Because she's been really poorly over the weekend and the last few days with a stinking migraine. She's having to sit in the pitch black dark at the minute because she can't face any light. So she is a little bit better. So
get them yourself.
She's I've seen it today. She's still full of beans, but it's crippling her at the minute. So sending all our love. She knows I send mine anyway. But there you go. Tom says Sevilla are just playing games now. Look at when Chelsea went in for one of their players and they just moved on. Tom says, just seen the clip of John getting caught out by the links with Mo Leicester. What you mean this one?
That's about 5 minutes ago, but there's no secret there. In we've got me dancing, Collar, good lad. I'm sure you can strut your stuff, by the way. Like Michael Jackson, the great late Michael Jackson, by the way. Should go for the young lad for the championship. Mo Leicester. He's a real handful. Have you heard of this guy, Mo Leicester?
Not really seen too much of him. I've heard of him, but I'm not seen a lot of him.
Heard of him, but not seen a lot of him. League One, red and white stripes. Lots of dodgy text messaging. You'll get your man. But I don't think he can play very good football, Mr. Leicester. I haven't seen much of him, to be honest. But there you go. Quality as usual. From the Sinclair channel. I think they're only agreeing personal terms to get the players to put the pressure on as a tactic to try to stop the clubs increasing the price every time we try and negotiate.
That's
Brian,
another thing. Sorry, that's another thing. We should get like the players should start acting the bollocks then to get out as well. They should start fighting a bit more to get out. You might see it closer to the deadline day. You know, like you're saying, I'm not playing unless you sell me, like, or that type, that type of thing. Like,
well, I know I understand that in a way, but we've seen players go on strike before. I think Pierre Van Hooijdonk was the first to do it at Nottingham Forest, and all hell broke loose after that. But I think with regards to Carlos, Brian, he's already said that he wants to leave. So if he says he wants to leave, surely Sevilla would take this money now because there's no guarantee that in the summer they're going to get the same amount for him because he could get injured, he could have a loss of form, anything could happen between now and the summer. So surely Sevilla would be crazy not to take it.
Yes. I mean, as far as money-wise, but they know our predicament as well. Maybe that's why. I didn't realize that we had met their matching price. I know we had put in a few bids.
Yeah.
But maybe they're just going to turn the screw on us. They know that we need help, and deadline day is approaching. They know where we're at in the table, and I think they're just going to try and squeeze every penny they can, and eventually somebody's going to give, whether it's us or them. I don't know.
But they need the money as well, though.
They do. There's not much money in Spain, to be fair, since all this pandemic and sort of no fans in the stadium.
But I mean, that's 120, 130 million if we don't stay up.
Yeah. It's a lot of money. It is,
but they're gambling on winning the league to offset that. That's their gamble. That's what they seem to be.
And the Europa League too, as well, probably.
Yeah, potentially.
Matt says, "What do you think about Wood not training with the team in Saudi?"
What?
He hasn't trained.
Reported to New Zealand for international duty.
Indeed.
And the New Zealand manager's confused that he joined them, apparently.
Yeah. There you go. I just wanted to see if anyone else knew that because, he's on international duty, basically. So,
But should he be there, though?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's an international break, technically.
There's only a few continents participating in it. Like, I know CONCACAF's going on. I guess Oceania. Yeah. I think Europe is paused.
Asia's on Thursday as well.
Yeah, so there are some continents like actually playing international games.
It's just funny that the manager went, "Oh, you're
he
here."
Didn't know he was turning up. He just walked in. Hey,
That's what I meant. How was he supposed to be there?
Walk in the dressing room, start doing the hacker.
He's like, "Oh,
I'm here, boss."
Arabia, but...
Hey, honestly. Okay, this is a bit interesting. You know what? If we got any more signings, it's not for the want of grafting for them by the owners. Fook paper talk. Let's see what happens. Unfortunately, I don't think we will get at least, or I do think we will get at least 2 more, possibly 4. Okay.
There's too much Geordie in that sentence.
Yeah.
There's never too much Geordie in any sentences.
Yeah. That's coming from a French Canadian, so we'll not even gloss that. Brian
Sorry,
says,
it's Geordie.
Shut up, you hobbit.
No,
Brian
it's
says, what you even worrying about money for? If we get 2 players who want to come, pay the extra 10 million now. What would Cody cost? I've seen a few people turn around and say we should be going back for Connor Cody.
Well, it's over with Connor Cody. We're not getting Connor Cody.
It never was on.
Yeah, say that, Danielle.
It'll be this
Never
summer.
heard you mention Connor Cody before, Paul.
I know it's new
No.
information.
In the summer.
Listen, it still may happen. There's still 6 days left, right?
Do you know what would be funny? Sorry. Do you know what would be funny if you know the way Spain is mostly they're nearly all what do you call them, release clauses. And any of the teams that are messing up, we could go in on transfer deadline. They go, there's that, and wipe out their team, and they can't get replacements in time.
Yeah. Good point. Craig Johnston says, might have to bite the bullet and overpay this window and deal with the consequences of it. Better than dealing with relegation. I mean, yes, we know we're under threat of relegation, but Alex, is paying over the odds the right thing to do?
No.
Not over the odds. It depends on the context. If it's still 0 centre-backs come deadline day, then we might have to bite the bullet and pay over the odds for 1. It depends if these other links are true with Nat Phillips and Adam Webster. I know that Fernandez is coming back, so you never know if Shah can keep stepping up and playing as he's done, and Fernandez comes back, 1 might be enough. 1 new centre back, we could do with more, but it's looking a bit weird right now. I don't think we should pay over the odds, no. But if it gets to the deadline day and there's no centre backs, we need 1. And similarly with the midfielder, especially with the links of Longstaff going and possibly Hendrick going as well. That will need to be plugged. And I don't know about Wood and Wilson as the only goal threats for the remainder of the season. That also feels really thin. Wilson could get another setback, and it's just dangerous. We'll have to see what deadline day. But I agree with what you said earlier. I think we're going to be the busiest team in Europe. If it's still no more players through the door between now and deadline day, we are going to be the busiest team, hands down.
Yeah.
Who's making those decisions though? With people over in Saudi, with our manager over there, who's actually making those decisions?
Producer stayed back to monitor the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Amanda's gone with the team.
But there will be I mean, obviously the owners are in Saudi as well, so they'll all be in cahoots. I just genuinely believe that this was set up to bring a marquee signing over there and parade him in Saudi. I genuinely think that. And at the minute, it's gone rather boobs up, to be fair. So we just have to...
We'll have to wait till summer for a preseason tour for that. We're in the trenches and still, 18th now?
Yes, mate, we are. Nigel says, hi, everyone. Just change the mindset. Assume we'll get no one else in. Then, if we do, it's a plus. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. But also the mindset is if we don't get anybody else in, we're going down.
That was our old mindset.
Yes, I don't want to go in the championship. I know many people say,
you say we'd stay in after we beat Leeds.
Shut up, Ryan. Roy, I wish you wouldn't repeat what I say, Ryan. It's really annoying sometimes. You remember everything that I've said. Roy, do you think we'll go down if we don't sign anybody else?
I think 99% we will go down if we don't sign anyone. But the question is, let's say we can sign 1. Would you go for a midfielder or would you go for a defender? Because I would go for a central midfielder for me. Because once Fernandez comes back, Shah keeps playing good. That's not a big problem. The other problem we've got is there's no engine in the team. Longstaff shite, even though he played good for 1 half in the last game. So I like.
We need mobility and progression. Mobility and progression too, because it's way too slow in midfield at times for me. The only reason
and
why
there's
it
not
fell
enough
past
protection.
because Leeds play like when you're playing on FIFA, where like you just overcommit on every players and there's spaces in behind.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently Leon have accepted this bid. By the way, I'm just there's a lot of comments coming in saying it's been accepted. I don't know if that's 100% true, but Mark
I hope
Goldridge
it
on
is,
the
yeah.
United stand said that Man United apparently rejected a $6 million known fee for Lingard. They did.
That's what I heard.
So it's Man United just playing funny buggers because they don't like us, and we
I
don't
hate
like
them.
them.
Well, we hate them. So
Yeah, I mean, you
There
know,
was
They can
report on
keep him.
Sky Sports though that they wanted to loan him to us. Well, they want to sell him to us certainly. But does anyone know if he's actually interested in coming? I know there's a link between him and Trippier, but does he want to?
well,
Conflicting reports.
Yeah, I said I said yesterday that it's very hard to decipher what a player is saying behind the scenes. Many people have said, "Oh, he doesn't want to come. He doesn't want to. He's not up for the challenge of a relegation side." Then you got the flip side of it, saying, "Well, why is he liking certain Instagram posts? Why is he sending representatives to St James's Park?"
Yeah.
You have to take all this into the equation as well, because it's very strange. So I don't really believe anything about that, about him not wanting to come. I think it's because if Man United agree a fee and talks start, then we'll know, because talks haven't started yet. Simple as that, between Newcastle and Jesse Lingard. So we can't say that he doesn't want to come, because that's just a pile of rubbish. Dan, I have worked out the sound problem, matey. It is Brian over in America, but I've got him muted until he speaks. So we shouldn't. It's not Brian's fault. It's just a bit of interference. So don't worry about that. But when Brian speaks, obviously you become unmuted. It's just a bit of background interference. So we've sorted that. I can't believe Julian Cesare. I am actually able to take a step outside. Yes, welcome to the club, my friend. I took my first steps.
Thomas.
I took my first steps outside today as well. Shit, it was cold. The Brazilian outlet that reported the bid is pretty reliable. Well, the news about that Leon player has come out of nowhere. He would be earning about 46k to 180k. The guy would be the biggest mug.
How do you know? How do we know that though?
Exactly.
Well, they said that they'd pay.
No one knows.
On the tweet, they said they'll pay up to 4 times his actual wage that he's on Leon to come to us.
Look, I've said before, I don't give a monkey's baboon's ass, whatever it is, how much money they're on. As long as they go on that pitch and put 120% in for the badge, I don't give a damn if they're on 300 grand a week or £3 a week. I don't care. I just want them to help us avoid relegation, because I do not want to travel down to places like Barnsley next season.
Do you have to go down the M6 for that?
What if Plymouth get promoted?
The only good thing about the championship, the only 2 good things I think from the championship is you're winning nearly every week, so we get used to that again. And then the next thing is, I think they're not as strict on the sponsor, so you could bring in a lot more money and get it sitting there.
Let's not even talk about that though.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
And
I'm
the
sure
way the things are going.
I'm sure Norwich have a winning mentality, but they keep going up and down.
Yeah,
true. Brian, are we avoiding relegation this season?
Not if we don't sign some players.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening.
What position would you strengthen first, though? If you were manager now, with what we've got, where would you strengthen next?
Well, before I would have said center back, but with Joe Lincoln's injury, what's he out 6 weeks?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah,
I agree with Roy. I think you got to go central midfielder.
Yeah, fair enough. Chris, would you target centre mid or would you target defence? Which one would you go for?
Oh, it was really exciting when the idea that Diego Costa was coming in, but I think everyone knows that if he was to have come in, it wouldn't be Lascelles that would be dropped, which is what we all want. Lascelles is still going to be the captain, and the way Sharp performed against Leeds, he should be on the field every day. But we need both. That's the truth. We need both.
Yeah,
we need a creative midfielder, and we have to have a solid centre back. And I was really excited with Diego Carlos. But there you go.
Danielle, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, I'm 39. I'm 40 in June.
Yeah, I think Charlie needs a guide dog. That's
Don't
no
rub it in anymore,
disrespect,
Danielle.
Danielle.
I was going to say, don't push it.
You don't look like you're
I
about
know,
to
I
be
know. I will get punched. We've got Big Scott coming in. Are you there?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Not too bad, mate. How's you?
Not too bad. What's your thought on the window so far?
Where to begin?
Scott, can you turn your
Personally,
YouTube down a bit? It's feeding back.
There we go. Is that better?
There you go. All right, champion.
I personally think that we could have done a lot better, if I'm honest, but
yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and whinge about it when we've still got 6 days left.
Yeah. I suppose that is the thing. We've still got the 6 days left. The thing that's looking dodgy though is the teams, not the players, but the teams of these players putting up ridiculous prices, digging the heels in, and making it really awkward.
Yeah.
The one thing at least we can say is you can see that the owners are trying. It's not for the lack of trying. It's not like Cook can actually wait until the last day to try to get a loan. You know what I mean? Like they actually are out trying to do it. You can see them putting the bids in. They're out trying to get it. I know, fair enough, some people want to see it all done there and then, but it doesn't work like that when they know that they have something over you that you're meant to be the richest club in the world and all this. So they know that they have a card to play against us. So if they're going to try to get everything they can, and so it's all about the battle of wills. But someone's going to have to give in.
Who's going to give in, Danielle? Who's going to give in?
Needs to
Is
be
it going to
our
be
own.
us, or is it going to be the teams that we're fighting?
I think it might come down to being us if it gets to Monday. I don't want me to because I think that's dangerous going forward. But at the same time, which way do you go? Do you take the risk and go with what we've got and just hope for the best? Or do you splash out and think, well, we'll just have to deal with the FFP later on in terms of the consequences on that if we go mad? Hopefully it won't come to that because I don't want to sit them to make a statement like that and then have to back down.
Yeah,
because I think that gives out the wrong message as well.
Which is fair enough. Craig says, I think we can overpay this one time. In the future, we can say we overpaid because we were in relegation battle. We're not in desperate need and we'll look elsewhere. The ball will still be in our court. Yeah, but the problem is, if we start paying over the odds now, we set a precedent with other clubs. And yeah, it's all right if we turn around and say, come the summer, we paid over the odds for players because we were in a relegation battle. That doesn't really matter to the other clubs. They'll still see Newcastle as a team that will pay over the odds for players. And we just can't do that. There's got to be a balance, Alex, but where is that balance going to come from?
Well, it really does depend on who accepts what. If somebody accepts a reasonable offer, it depends who's going to be first through.
Yeah.
If we get the Lingard deal or the Dele Alli deal or one of these bids, it'll depend on the nature of that first bid. If we've done well with whatever that was financially, then we might be able to pay a bit more. It just depends. But like I said earlier, if it's still zero come deadline day, then we're just going to have to pay silly for something. If there's still a hole there, because they don't want to go down. So it's a difficult one. It depends on who this next signing is going to be. It really does.
Ryan, Chris Wood. What's your thoughts on him? Because I'm yet to be convinced. I mean, I know he's only played 2 games, but I think he looks lumpy. I think he looks slow. I just don't think he's what we need. He certainly doesn't fit into the formation that we play.
Yeah, I think for me, he's better off in like a 4-4-2. The only way to play that is we play with the White Gale up top, which I don't expect him to never play again.
Yeah.
Also, like when he came in, I was happy because it was just short-term appointment. You look at his contract, 2 years, his goal scoring record. But I think, yeah, you're right. We don't play to his strengths. We need an extra striker to him, and we need to have more players around him. I find our midfield's kind of a bit too far from him, and it was a bit better against Leeds where he was winning flick-ons and Alan St. Maximin was nearby or behind him in open space to grab the ball and create attacks.
Yeah,
but like we're definitely going to get way better attackers over the summer, assuming we stay up with. And Chris Wood will know that, and like even if that's his contract too, like he'll know it's short term. He'll come here just to do a short term job, and then we'll just move on, in my opinion, from him. But yeah, like if we weren't like an ambitious club, like we probably wouldn't want Chris Wood at all, to be honest. But just for now, like he's all right, and he'll be just a squad player, I guess. Like nothing to really open arms rage about, kind of thing.
Ryan, what do you think? Do you agree with Ryan about that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we got him just to help us to stay up. Burnley are weaker now, and just in case we do go down, he's ready for the championship. So it's 3-1 you've got with him. I think if we stay up, he'll just end up being a squad player. And even this season, once Wilson is back, he'll go back on the bench. If we get him beat, he might come on in the last 20 minutes or something. But he'll end up being a squad player, I think. Yeah, Ryan's
Scott,
right, exactly.
Yeah. Scott, do you think he'd go two up front when Wilson comes back? Do you think he'd play the two together?
Nah, it's never really been our style, has it? Not for a long time, anyways. Nah,
Eddie Howe has been known to be an attacking manager, though, hasn't he?
He has. I mean, look at Bournemouth. He did quite a canny job there, like, but not with the players that we've got. I can't say we're pushing like that. I mean, a centre attacking mid, something like that, maybe. But not two strikers, not yet. I think that would be very forward to bring on two forwards.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think? Could you ever see Eddie Howe going two up front?
I think it'd be nice to see, but did anyone notice that Chris Wood turns slower than the Knock Nevis cargo vessel?
Yeah.
Just from the turn around and face goal. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
You watch the clock tick down as he starts to turn. He takes like 30 seconds just to turn around. So I don't think he's right. It'd be nice just to see Callum Wilson back.
His second touch is always a tackle, it seems to be, that he just can't seem to hold it up. Now, whether that comes anymore with the more he plays, the more he gets used to us, then fair enough.
Needs more game time. I suppose.
Sean says, I've been watching John's show. I'm now depressed. Every single player we were in for, John's answer is, that's not going to happen. Cannot wait for the Four Horsemen to get him on Sunday.
The retrial.
Oh, wow.
To be fair, he does actually, if you listen to him when we're linked with players, he does say, never going to happen. Never going to happen. He's probably right, though, because it isn't happening. Peter, good evening to you.
All right.
Not too bad. How's your thoughts on things? I mean, I know we did the transfer show yesterday, but things have changed 24 hours on.
I mean, this Diego Collas just seems to be dragging on, doesn't it? I mean, Sevilla tell this price, but then they say, no, this price, you've got to bid him for. Again, it's just a bit like what Lille were doing with Botman. Just played silly buggers with. So, well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But the player does want to move. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and he's turned down a new contract as well at Sevilla, from what I've heard as well.
Well, he has, but he has asked to leave. But again, it's down to the club, and I think the club have been ridiculous because I think they'll lose money at the end of the day. Brian, what's your thoughts on Chris Wood? Has he inspired you at all?
Well, I thought he was better this past week than he was the first game. I think giving him a few games. He wasn't getting a lot of he wasn't getting a lot of playing time, was he, before he came over? I think he just needs to get his feet on the ground, and I think he'll be fine.
Can you see him scoring the goals to keep us up, though? If we're relying on him, if something happens to Wilson where he has a setback or whatever it is, could you see Chris Wood taking Callum's place and scoring the goals?
No, not with this formation. I think he's definitely better suited in a 4-4-2 or maybe even a 4-4-1-1.
Yeah. Fair enough. Abs says, you said you were fluent in Portuguese, Paul. I lied.
How long's left on Carlos's contract?
Jesus Christ, Ryan, what is going on in your dungeon?
My loud furnace, that's why.
Furnace? Bloody bushfire, never mind a furnace.
Fucking melting
I
iron.
was about to say something, so I unmuted my mic.
Go on, then say it. I can feel the heat off your furnace from here.
I was just gonna say about.
I know where the global warming comes from now.
I think
Ryan's friggin' dungeon.
I just think about Chris Wood, like if he'll provide the goals or not. I think it might not come just from him alone. I think it's down to like the supply he gets. You got a greedy winger like ASM, who most games cuts in on his left foot, and he just kills our attacks. And then like Ryan Fraser, I mean, look, I said yesterday on your show he put like 10 out of 10 effort, but I just thought he put in one good chance, but he didn't really do anything else that game. So maybe like in the summer, someone to challenge, like or a better upgrade on like Ryan Fraser could be an option. So that's just for now. Like I hope it changes and like the players we have now actually like become superstars. But like only a few select I could probably think of that happening too.
Very true. Martin says negotiations with Sevilla is like dealing with Mexican bandits. Matthew, I can't believe you've said them words. You should be
No,
shocked
not them
immediately.
words again.
A person close to Gramares has stated the player has agreed terms. So this person who is very close to Gramares, is he called Casper? Is he the invisible man? Oh, well, you know, these sources close to the player or friend with the player or whatever, they don't exist. Chris says, have faith, money talks. There will be deals. There may even be deals where the price is lower at the end of the window that they weren't early in the window. The deadline will focus minds. Peter, are we going to be busy on deadline day?
Hopefully. I mean, got to try and get someone else in before this window closes. I mean, we'll have to.
Well, that would be wise, Peter. That would be wise.
Yeah.
Alex, are we going to have loads of media, do you think, parked outside the training ground on Monday? Are things going to happen? Are you confident?
Yeah, definitely. We need them. They will pay. They're trying to save face and not save face, but they're trying to do it the right way for as long as possible. But if it's still not working come deadline day, they will have to push harder. So there will be 100%. It's because we've not got the right squad. As I completely agree with what Brian said, that we're not playing the formation to get the best out of Chris Wood.
Yeah.
He's not. He did. I think probably most people would agree with me. He didn't look like he was going to score from open play against Leeds, possibly from set pieces. But I can't see Chris Wood scoring at all from open play with the way we play. And likewise, again, Lascelles, I know he's been very poor, but we don't know the severity of his injury. We just need some more faces. We really do. I was surprised when you guys said about Joe Linton being 6 weeks out. I thought that it had been confirmed that he might be back for the next game. Is that actually 6 weeks?
I think it really, from what I've heard, it could be back for Everton.
Okay. Well, a lot of this depends on.
All
the
right, so we'll
injuries.
just say We'll just say 2 to 6 weeks. Right there you go. Right.
So if Lascelles is out for weeks and Joe Linton's out for weeks and Wilson's slow at coming back, then we desperately need all the media vans, all the players need to be there on deadline day. We need to get all the faces through because
undoubtedly. Just take a pause to say that if you are enjoying tonight's show, guys, please do hit the like button for us. The more likes we get, the more we go on the algorithm on YouTube, and we get in the search results quicker and higher up the table and all that jazz. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please do consider subscribing to the channel. You can also become a member if you hit the join button, which is also next to the subscribe button, and be part of the Toon Review family. And you can also donate to the channel tonight if you wish by super chat. Hit the $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through that way. So thank you in advance for that. And a big shout out to the Toon Review sponsors, who are Geordie Riffs, company based in the Northeast, for all your guitar repairs and servicing. They are offering at the moment 10% off your first guitar setup, 10% off your first guitar repair, and also your first guitar lesson if you want to take up playing that instrument. Completely free. Your first lesson free. Just quote the Toon Review. So contact Graham and Natalie, and they will sort you out for all your guitar needs. They are on the website, which is linked below. You can also catch them on Facebook and Twitter. So give them a big shout out. Right. So Charlie, the Leicester fan, says, stop wasting your time and bid for Yosi Perez and Hamza Chowdhury.
No thanks.
And one little fear I do have is that we were actually linked again with Hamza Chowdhury yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw that.
No.
That would be really ironic, wouldn't it?
Well, I was going to say, Danielle, is he the answer to our problems?
No.
No.
But it would be really ironic if at 10:58 on Monday that happened.
Can you see it happening?
Well, if we're on live on Monday night, I'm logging off if that happens.
Oh.
Just telling you.
Thank you in advance for your commitment to the channel as always, Danielle. Jesus. Hamza Chowdhury, Chris.
To be fair, I think anything right now would be a blessing. Anyone coming through, I'd actually like these signings to be done before deadline day, because I don't think I'm going to have any nails left come the end of deadline day.
Yeah, it is serious squeaky arse time. Morgul says, does at the Toon Review Stato have the stats on the total money spent in the last few January windows? It seems a low spend across all of Europe this year.
Not to hand, no, but it is a little bit low. But that's pandemic. That's to be expected. It's definitely, yeah. So I can get them, but it's always very difficult to predict exactly what questions people are going to ask stat-wise. I can't have the entire football database in front of me.
Well, you bloody should. What are you employed by the Toon Review for?
I mean, in front of me tonight, I've got the alternatives for what we've been turned down for. So if Diego Carlos doesn't happen, I've got stats on Nat Phillips and Adam Webster, which were the rumours. Also Grimaldo and Gosens, which are the other alternatives, because this Bakker deal seems to be off. So I've got a few stats on the alternative transfers, because we've all talked about the common ones quite a lot. So that's what I've got today.
Right, well, keep them for later in the week, because we're going to do a transfer show one night this week, so they'll be very, very handy to have. But there's your homework for the rest of the time, looking at transfer fees in January.
I'll have a look at January's, yeah.
Morgul, thanks for the £6.10 super chat, because it's just obligatory now, she says. Or he says, I'm not sure whether Morgul's male or female. I don't know. Morgul, are you a Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. or President or Professor or Doctor? Or just a hermit like Dublin Dave? Who knows? Claude says, look, please forget all he is done. All he is done finished. He is now a TikTok star.
Ali, I think you mean.
Well, it could be Lingard. It's one of the two. They're both on TikTok.
I mean, he's 25 years old. That's mean to say about a 25-year-old.
Yeah, I agree. Brian says, Tuesday, mind. We'll see what we're doing next Tuesday, and I think we'll be happy. Listen, if we do fan forum next Tuesday, Brian, we can then look at what squad we've got. It'll all be over. All the stress, all the pain, all the biting nails, all the diarrhea, everything will be gone, right? We will know what our squad is. Nobody will be, panicking. And Daniela said it for indigestion purposes. Some people have to, let go around the bottom end. Some people let it go the top end. Some people just bite the nails like Chris does. It's stress for everybody.
It is. It is. It's also going to be a very special day next Tuesday, I've heard. There's a special occasion next Tuesday. I wonder what that may be.
Have you heard? Have you? How do you know?
Hey, listen. Word gets round.
Clearly. Does anybody else know what special day it is next Tuesday?
I'm tunnel vision football. I ain't got no clue.
Anybody
it's somebody's birthday next Tuesday.
Well, you bugger. Who will that be? Hit me with a wet fish. Honestly. Santosh wants to go and get Ericsson. I'm afraid he's going to Brentford now. That's pretty much sealed. And Melissa says, of course it's deliberate. They didn't want us to be able to spend anything, and they're finding ways to do it. I'm not sure what on earth that is, but deliberate, didn't want us to spend anything. Conspiracy in the transfer window. Don't worry, we'll get more players before the weekend, says Dan. Cumbrian Max says it's all going to happen on the 31st. Oh, Christ, we're in for a busy day then.
I don't think Newcastle Airport's going to be able to take the traffic. Huh?
I know, it's going to be mental. We'll have to divert the Teesside, down near Borough, through the smog. Ken says the greedy bastard president at Sevilla did exactly the same with Chelsea last summer, and Chelsea ended up walking away. I'm sure there's a Craig David song in there, but I'm not going to go there.
Craig David.
Craig David. I'm walking away. I did it. I went there. I'm sorry. Toon says Carlos was offered a new contract today, which he turned down, stating he wants to come to Newcastle. What's the patter on Zapata? Well, the patter on Zapata is it's still very early conversations. It still is going on in the background. I'm pretty hopeful Zapata may be a Newcastle player by the end of the window. I don't know if that'll be permanent or on loan, but listen, if we got somebody like Zapata, Ryan, I don't know whether you've seen too much of him, but he's a tremendous, tremendous striker. And I can feel the warmth glowing on my face again as the burners burns me.
I've only seen Duvan Zapata in Copa America, but he was a brute when I saw him play.
Yeah.
And Colombia play like a pretty good style of football too. Like it's a 4-4-2 that's like more dynamic almost. And it was the guy looks like he's meant for the Premier League, I'll tell you that. And I to be honest, like lately since the Copa America, I've been kind of into like South American football or like nationalities. Like I like watching it just because I find they have a lot of heart in the game too, because
it's all the cocaine.
Yeah.
For legal purposes, we do not recommend cocaine.
No, we don't endorse it.
Well, we don't endorse it either.
I'd take him. He'd be more of an upgrade on all our strikers, you and Cal Wilson, to be honest.
Well, listen, I mean, Peter, John Sinclair is orgasmic about Zapata. To be fair, he's orgasmic when we mention Italian football, but
or Man United.
Man United.
Man U had to be.
Yeah. Could he be the player that transforms us if we get him in?
It could well happen. I mean, you look at his record, and it does look very good as well. So, yeah, I think if we were to bring him in, he would certainly be a lot better than what we have.
It'd be very interesting. Very interesting. But, Brian, I don't know whether you know much on Zapata. Do we need another striker, do you think?
Yes. I'm in the same boat as Danielle. Just sign everybody.
Wow. I never thought that. Well, listen, if you want to pilot the flight with Danielle with this golden checkbook to go and bring all these players in, you're welcome to it, Brian. But is Zapata somebody you'd go for?
I don't know much about him.
Right.
But from what you guys have talked about previously, his size, his speed, I think he would be perfect for the Premier League. And we definitely need another striker in. So go for it. Sign him.
Yeah. Andrew says in the summer, we will be trying to outbid many big teams and pay over the odds anyway. How is now any different? We need people in or we are screwed. Listen, I understand, going maybe up to £5 million over a player's valuation. I wouldn't mind that at all, to be fair. Where I do have an issue is adding 15, 20 million pounds onto a price. That is wrong, Roy, isn't it? It's just wrong.
Yeah, because you end up doing that with 3 or 4 players. You end up with paying like 60 to 70 million extra. So
yeah,
and word will spread straight away. And I'm actually happy with what they're doing now. So just keep it going. And I'm sure they will bring 2 or 3 players for end of the window, because for them, going down, losing 120 or 140 million by being relegated is a disaster. And I know the way Arabs think. I grew up here. They don't want to fail. They're not going to let this project fail.
Yeah.
So they'll do it. I'm sure they'll get 2 or 3 players put under the window. I'm not
we
worried
got this
yet.
new sponsor coming in as well, though. Has anyone heard
Appa-
about
yeah.
that?
Yeah, it's is it Saudi Airlines or something like that? Or I knew there's a new Saudi Arabian
Gulf.
Airlines which they're linked with as well.
Saudi Gulf as well.
And the Saudi Gulf, but the Saudi Gulf, he was at the Tottenham game when we got taken over. He was just sitting next to the owner, to be honest. So I think he was always going to become involved. Cyan says as a Leeds, who was that?
That was me. I think he's a board member now. One of those guys from the Gulf, the Saudi Gulf Federation. So he's one of the top 4 people of the club now. Can't remember his name.
Well, apparently Pete Graves has now just shot down the bid for Gumares. So it's so anybody that's saying it's accepted and stuff like that. Again, this rumor mill is a pile of poo at times, but hey ho, it brings up conversation. Cyan says, as a Leeds fan, fair play to Newcastle. I'm not entirely convinced that the two need a full squad overhaul. A clinical striker and a half-decent midfielder should be enough.
Yeah, I agree. Not a full squad overhaul, just a few pieces.
I'll just take some bodies. That's all we need. I think.
It's risky though. It's possible, but it's risky. Whereas getting a few more guarantees it more so. That's
our native Grim Reaper, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, if we were to get a centre back and a midfielder, though, would you not feel a bit more confident if we got those 2 positions filled?
Yeah, no, I don't want. I agree. I don't think we need the squad overhaul to stay up. I think 1 or 2 would be enough. If people like Fernandes come in and play well and things, Howe's 10 points in 10 now. So if we continue in this kind of fashion, then I think we'll be okay. But it is risky. Few people get injured, few bad games, few bad VAR calls. All of a sudden, we're back in that.
Yeah.
It's risky. So getting the extra few players in and going, getting more kind of stops that from happening.
Yeah.
And for context on Zapata, for people who haven't seen him, he's 15 goal contributions in 16 games this season for Serie A, which is nuts. He's also six goal contributions in 6 Champions League matches as well.
Yeah.
So he's only that's ridiculous. He's a monster, absolute monster. His goal outputs twice, if not thrice, Callum Wilson, absolute beast.
Yeah. Geordie J says it's winter break, not international break. That is correct. It is winter break, but there is some international players on duty across the world at the minute. Stephen says Carlos had a gentleman's agreement with Sevilla to let him leave after their previous 2 games in La Liga. No wonder he wants to leave. Yeah, well, it sounds like the chairman is a complete bar steward, to be honest, who is a liar. Paul wants to know if anyone's come in for our players. Well, there is links. Sean Longstaff is once again linked with a move to Nottingham Forest. Matty Longstaff is linked with a move to Carlisle or Sunderland. And Jeff Hendrick is now being linked with a move to Middlesbrough. I mean, Danielle, Jeff Hendrick to Middlesbrough. What do you think of that?
Well, he's not going to get in our midfield, is he?
No.
He's not going to get any game time under Eddie Howe, it doesn't look like.
No. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Danielle. He's had 1, possibly 2 games. We talked about this in detail where he could have given Hendrick that chance and he hasn't done it. So it doesn't look like he's going to touch the squad at all, unless people start breaking legs. I think we should just let him go.
Yeah,
definitely.
Does anybody think we should keep Eddie Howe? Anybody think we should keep Jeff Hendrick?
Don't sell both of them. Don't sell him and Longstaff together.
Not until we get a
without a replacement.
Don't get rid. Without replacement, don't get rid of anybody.
I'd keep Hendrick. I wouldn't keep Longstaff.
I agree.
Longstaff's appalling.
Which one?
Both. I think Longstaff's out of contract in the summer, but Hendrick isn't.
Yeah, you're right, Alex. I think Hendrick's got another year, left. So we may as well just. get something for the long staffs. Just get something for them. You know, I mean, Sean, you know, I've said many times, plays with a heavy weight, either on his arse or wherever it may be.
12 flagstones.
12 flagstones. You know, he's pulling a snow plow or whatever it is. I think Nottingham Forest would suit him down to the ground. John McGlurkin, do you know me at all? Because this I nearly swore there. This comment that I'm about to put on the screen is a disgrace to humanity.
That's brave.
I'd rather have Commander Cody from Star Wars than Connor Cody.
You shut your face, Frenchie. Hey, you go get yourself a croissant, huh? You go get a croissant, eat some onions and garlic.
That's
You
French.
freak.
That's not Canadian French.
Oh, bollocks to you. French is all the same. Louis, good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, you sound
I'm
happy.
doing good.
Yeah, you sound
He's excited to be with Mini Baz tonight.
Christ almighty, there's a great advert for depression. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Wow, tell you what,
I thought I was
I
bad.
burst into tears when you said hello.
I thought I was bad.
Oh. It was like, hello, Louis, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine like that.
Louis, what do you think of the transfer mess at the minute? Are you confident of anything happening?
Well, the Carlos deal seems off. What I was reading earlier.
Yeah.
I want to stay hopeful that we'll get players through the door, like Carlos, but I don't know if it goes quiet. Like, you don't have to like. If it goes quiet, something usually comes out of it. Like, we know that they're in Saudi, and what about rumours of, is it Calvin Phillips that could get rumoured to be announced by the Saudis in Saudi Arabia or back when they come back.
He's out for the season.
He's injured.
Who's gone off now? Who's disappeared
well, never
there?
mind then.
Who's gone?
Can't remember his name.
Is it Chris?
Oh, Chris, yeah, he was having internet problems before anyway. So, Jimmy, this is interesting. Christensen from Chelsea, his contract's up in the summer. He's not a bad defender.
No, definitely not.
I think Bayern Munich are sniffing around him, though.
Yep.
A few other people
I
like that.
can't stand people that say Chelsea. Shut up. It's just Chelsea, man.
Look at the French boy waving his baguettes everywhere. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's because of the Russian ownership. They
Chelsea.
did it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a joke. It's been like that for 20 years, dude.
Hey, you know, I'm sick of people doing that. You know, slagging off the French. Chelsea, I do not like it.
Chelsea, Penandez, I can't stand that in comment sections.
Yeah,
Even though, like, I don't like Man United either.
Right. You've made your point, Ryan. Well and truly. I mean, I thought you were going to start smashing things there.
I did, to be fair.
Jesus. PD Proudluck says we should pay over the odds and make the fees undisclosed. Peter, why do you think that?
I mean, I don't think they're trying to disclose them. They're just.
Peter, is that really your thoughts? Because I've just said what your comment was, and I've just asked you why, and you can't answer it.
That wasn't from me. That definitely wasn't me, that comment.
Oh, it says PD Proudcock. That's why. I do apologise. It's not you. Why, shiver me timbers. So it wasn't you before that commented either. Julie, what's going on behind the scenes? Like how? Look at the. Why did my? Oh, hey, I didn't notice that. If I shake me mouse, the arrow goes big. Well, there you go.
That's what normally happens. More than 3
It
shakes
does,
and
matey. It does. Wacky says, read somewhere that Newcastle can only spend 200 million from now until 2024. Is that true? That is absolute bollocks. To be honest, right, everybody's focused on this financial fair play. And Danielle, it doesn't affect us for years and years simply because Mike Ashley spent nothing.
Thank God. Thank God for small mercies, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of us having 14 years of nothing. But, you know, I do kind of worry about overpaying whether that's to do with FFP or not. I just think it's a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, but look at that comment there, Danielle, from Charlie. Look at Manchester United paying over the odds. Pogba, Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire,
Oh,
can I
man.
just state, cost 80
Jesus
million
Christ.
pounds. And he...
Franchise was 50 million.
Well, yes, but, I mean, 80 million pound, 70 million a pound of that was for his heed. So
it's the wages as well that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, God, the guy's got a paving slab as a brow. I mean, 80 million quid. Diego Carlos
Mental
wants
that.
to join us. I'd pay the extra money because it's crucial to sign a central defender before the window ends. Brian, bloody hell, Paul. I think we should pay anything for Lingard and Carlos.
Uh-oh. Can't pretend.
He's got an orange shirt on today as well. He's got. You've upset him.
That's hilarious. No, I don't think would ever get Connor Cody. Not
Brian?
until the summer.
What I want you to do, Brian.
Yeah, we
I know
go.
what you're going to say.
Oh, here we go.
Have a walk up the stairs. Walk into the bathroom. Look in the mirror at your silly little face with your silly little bald head, right? Turn around, put it right down in the toilet and take it for a shit.
He's got
Lola
a
the
t-shirt,
Rescued
that.
Beagle says, great channel, amazing content, keep up the great work. Thanks, Lola, you're a star, unlike Brian Johnson.
That's
why
not me
isn't-
writing that, just so you know, Paul. That's not me.
I know it's not you. I know who Brian Johnson is. He's actually a good lad. He's a good fella. In fact, he's a great lad. He's a great fella. So, why isn't FIFA doing something to stop clubs increasing a player's price, even when a club matches their asking price, just because the club is rich? Sorry,
Just not how it works.
No.
unfortunately, it's not. No. Joining us for the last few minutes of the show, it is a man who, well, it's a pillock. Archer, good evening.
Good evening, Paul.
Oh, hi, Archer.
Oh my God! Look at his face furniture now. Archer, you look like you've grown a V on your chin.
The V.
What does the V stand for, Archer?
What V?
The V on your chin. That's what it looks like. It looks like the letter V made out of a beard.
Oh, it's just one of those mask thingies where you can stick out with your nostril.
Oh, it's not a beard. It's a
Ah.
mask. Oh, there you go. Right, Archer, give us your views on the transfer window at the minute then.
Shite. All I can say.
Yeah. I mean, anything to add to that apart from that? I mean, you know, it's a fan forum. You're here to speak. I mean, please say something.
Well, obviously we got Trippier and Wood in, but like that's literally not enough. Like we've got a week of until deadline shuts.
Yeah.
We need bodies in this football club. Two players is not enough. We need more bodies in if we have any chance of staying in this Premier League.
So, how many would you say we need in, Archer? If you were managing now, how many would you say we needed in?
6. That's what I would say.
Another 6.
I would actually say 6.
Holy shit, we are going to be busy in the next 6 days, guys, if Archer's in charge. So, who's the 6? Who's the 6?
Well, obviously I would have Lingard.
Yeah.
Obviously this Diego Carlos is kind of really paying me off. Like how Sevilla think, oh, Newcastle are a rich club. Oh, we've already put 30 million in for them. Oh, we want more money out in Newcastle United. It doesn't work like that. 30 million, I'll take them. And they want like 37 million, which is like 45 million, euros over there.
Damien is saying, Adam P saying Bruno G deal is done. Listen, listen.
Adam P's been getting everything wrong lately.
Adam said quite a few times on his thumbnails that Carlos had signed, that Lingard had signed. So let's look.
He also said Ekitike was the next Mbappe.
Yeah,
you have to look really closely in the thumbnail.
I've mentioned it to Adam a million times about his thumbnails, but hey ho, look, he does what he does. End of story. I don't care for Fabrizio Romano. I trust Pete Graves more than Romano, right? I really do. So
You're
Pete
taking
Graves
the
is saying
piss.
there's nothing in it. Will you shut up, you French prick? Seriously, how many times are you going to come in with some butt munch comment tonight? Jesus,
There's
wept.
one tweet about it.
Right.
You want me to read it word for word?
So, do you think Romano's right? And do you think Romano's been right about most of the things for Newcastle?
Yeah. He's the most reliable guy on the internet.
Right.
In the world.
Has
He
he
gets
been
everything
right?
right.
He said Carlos was done. Is that deal done?
I don't remember seeing anything about.
He said Lingard was almost done. Is that almost done? No.
Nope.
Nope.
Thank you for the family fortunes noises, Danielle.
I'm going to
You're
go
a
through
credit to the channel.
Twitter right now and see if there's anything regarding Jesse Lingard. There's nothing.
You are such a twat at times. Seriously, Pete Graves didn't say that we haven't bid, just that the bid hasn't been accepted.
No, he didn't. He said I don't want to shoot down anybody else's stories, but that's not the information that we've heard. That's all he said.
I knew I loved you for a reason, Dublin Dave.
Yeah, he's confirmed he's got different sources. It could be right, it could be wrong. That's basically.
Would you like to comment on that, Ryan Room?
The only thing regarding Bruno Guimaraes is that according to Hugo Hiame,
Who's
£40
he?
million on the payroll proposal made last night.
That's not how you pronounce it.
Ryan, I think you need to give yourself a good whack
You're
over
having
the
a
head with your
Sinclair now,
baguette
Ryan.
net.
He's having a Sinclair. I'm thinking of Sinclair. I've seen it.
You guys want? It's a French name, Hugo Hiame.
So was Paul Dumais.
Peter, what you are you talking about this, Peter? Are you talking about this?
No.
That's about 5 minutes ago, but there's no secret there. In got me dancing, Collar, good lad. I saw you construct your stuff, by the way. Like Michael Jackson, the great late Michael Jackson, by the way. Should go for the young lad for the championship. Moore Leicester, he's a real handful. Have you heard of this guy, Moore Leicester?
Not really seen too much of him. I've heard of him, but I've not seen a lot of it.
I've heard of him. Ryan,
Who the hell is I don't think Peter's seen that.
He's a right handful.
Poor Maisie, man. Honestly, I blame John Sinclair for it all, really. I mean, putting the poor lass on the spot.
He's got to have fault for at least over 10 times, easily.
More Leicester.
Ryan, can I say about Romano? He's not all he's cracked up to be, you know. His La Liga source.
Go on! Knock the Frenchie on his arse! Do it! Come on!
His best mate, Gerard Romano, was on a podcast talking about Newcastle and La Liga, and he said that Leeds was the only one-club city in the UK, which is obviously Newcastle is also a one-club city. He was saying that Newcastle fans were expecting Mbappe and Haaland in the January transfer window. This is his La Liga source and one of his friends. Like, some of the connections aren't super great. He's generally quite reliable, but you got to take everything with a pinch of salt with these transfer sources.
Ryan's face is now as red as his jumper.
That's what I
Can't
do.
blame your
But
furnace
except
for
for
that.
Romano. I don't
If
trust
you
people from the
listen-
Telegraph or Daily Mail.
Listen to some of his foreign podcasts with his mates, like Gerard Romano. He does a few French and Spanish ones, and they chat absolute nonsense in those. It's awful. It's really bad, especially with their information on the Premier
He
League.
probably doesn't spotlight them and give them like credit for. He probably just shuts them down. He tweets out the most reliable. Where the information he gets from is reliable.
Well, there you go. Then you've just
Keep
admitted he's
digging.
not the most trustworthy person on Twitter. Then it's you got to take it with a pinch of salt. I mean, he's all right, but
This is the only thing.
Sorry,
regarding-
Ryan, I've just
this
got
is
to
the
speak the
only-
truth.
this is the
Sorry,
only
I
thing
just
regarding-
love to see this comment here from Mark. He says, not that one. There it is. Ryan's like the snide French busy on Allo Allo.
I was just pissing by the door. See Madonna with the big boobies.
Oh, I love you, Ryan. I really do. You know that. You know that.
Yeah.
Jan says, Paul, you may just eat your words on Romano in a few days. I hope
Exactly.
I do. I'd love to.
I would love to.
Yeah. Keith says Newcastle know what they're doing. Got the best business advisor in the world. Started off talking about Michael Jackson, then more Leicester is comedy gold.
know, man.
Oh, no. man.
He got the move
Oh,
of Michael
man.
Jackson.
He's all nervous, right?
I'll be back.
No.
All right, guys, I'm host now.
Nice, gone.
Ryan.
All right, so what do we make of Jesse Lingard and a £6 million loan deal? I think it's a load of crap.
I think it's been rejected. I think they want more.
Supposedly, I don't know.
I thought the one 10 million loan fee.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh no, that was Romano that quoted. Didn't remember. That wasn't true either.
No,
honestly, I shouldn't bang my deck.
I don't think there was even a bid.
Hard as that.
What's wrong with your mic?
Paul, it's because you've got a wolf shirt on. The universe is punishing you.
Uh-oh.
You have number 16 on the back.
That
Oh, there
is
we
not
go.
a wolf shirt, you big fanny. Right?
Your
You're
computer
on
that's
the
changing
third
mic or
mic.
something.
No, it's because I punched the desk and my wires went flying out. I should really watch what I'm doing. Julie says, how old is Paul next week? I am 32.
Plus VAT.
Ryan said, sorry?
Plus VAT.
What a cheat.
Says you stumpy looking bloody Santa Claus.
I didn't say
You
VAT.
Santa
I didn't
looking
say
Irish
VAT.
prick.
I said VAT. VAT.
B-Tech True Geordie.
Is in Canada.
Beaver eater.
Yeah, shut up, you beaver eating Canuck. At least we don't eat feckin' squirrels, you dirty get.
We have taste.
You can shut up and all you Irish hobbit, right?
Go drink your Guinness.
Exactly. Don't just come here and you smog a vape. You flaming hobbit looking git. Anyway.
Feel better, Danielle.
Anyway, thank you all for tuning into the Toon Review tonight. We've had a very interesting fan forum. I do apologise for the French garlic sucking prat at the top, and I do again apologise for the stupid Santa Claus looking hobbit from Ireland that just sits there in the dark, stroking his whatever.
Strokes is whatever.
It's the only thing he can stroke because he can't find the other fecker. So, right. I'd like to finish the show tonight by asking you guys a very simple question. Archer, we'll start with you. How many players do you expect to have signed by the time the window closes? Between now and the window closing, how many? And this isn't how many, sort of, judging by reports, how many do you personally think we'll bring in?
Well, personally, I did said 6, but now I'm going to go for 4.
Right. Dan Kane says to you, Ryan, what is Twitter? I'll send you the huge write-up about Fabrizio Romano in the New York Times today.
You literally just had it right there, but there's an underscore at the end of my name. That's my Twitter.
I don't care.
Well, you asked.
Anyway, right, Archer, thanks for coming on. We'll see what kind of beard you've got this time next Tuesday.
Okay.
Take care, mate.
Catch you later, lads.
Those handles back.
Right, Louis von de whatever. Right. Everybody's saying happy 50th in the comments. You can all just eat my feces, actually, because I am nowhere near that age. Thank you very much, you bell ends. Right. Louis, how many players?
I think 3.
Which positions?
Oh, God. Probably a centre back. Maybe another striker. Probably a defender as well.
Right, Cool. Right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming on, Louis. Get yourself back on next week for birthday celebrations, my man.
I hope.
Why are you laughing? What was funny about that?
What?
What I asked him in the chat.
No,
Oh,
I can
right.
see that.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
see that. Anyway,
No,
Louis,
you're
thanks
not.
for coming
You're
on,
not
mate.
saying that, Ryan.
No,
right.
just
Okay.
tell Ryan to just do one. See you later, Louis.
Right, I'll see you.
Louis there, the happiest man alive, ladies and gentlemen. Peter.
Yeah. I'm going to say 3 as well.
Which positions?
Centre back, midfield, and up front.
Cool. Right, thanks for coming on, matey. See you soon.
No problem. Catch
Louis
you
Van
Sunday.
Gaal, yeah.
Brian, you've muted yourself, mate.
2.
There he is.
2.
2. Only 2?
Well, I would like 4 or 6, but yeah, the way it's going, I only see 2 more.
Right, fair enough. Well, thank you for coming on, matey. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully speak to you again soon.
All right, thanks.
Take care, mate. Some of these comments that are coming in are just absolutely disgraceful, by the way. Paul Bradbury says, 32, my arse. I've met you and you look way older than me, you cheeky twat. I do not. Roy.
Yes,
how many's coming in?
We need 3. We need a centre back. We need a defensive midfielder, and we need a player like Dele Alli or Lingard, someone who can play behind the striker or a number 10 or on the wing.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need a centre forward at the moment. Well, if we do get one, fine. But we've got 3, and priorities the other areas in the team. And that lad, what's his name? The one from Lyon. Is it from Lyon? Guimaraes.
Yes, Guimaraes.
Yeah. So if we get him, a defender, and if we get Dele Alli or Lingard on loan, that'll be perfect. That'll be us
Fair
safe,
enough.
I think.
Right, well, you have a good week, Roy, and get yourself back on for
Cheers,
the birthday celebrations next week. I don't know what they're going to be.
Why,
It'll
aye.
just be a normal fan forum, probably, but, you know. Right, catch you soon,
Hope
matey.
so.
Take care.
See you, everybody.
Best of luck, mate.
Come on then, Mr. Hobbit. Your turn.
Including loans, I think it's going to be 5. There mightn't be 5 of the targets that we want, like that are going after straight away. I think we'll fill out the squad, like, you know, add a bit to the bench. They might be the biggest names, like maybe 2 centre backs, 2 midfielders, and then a striker.
Fair enough. What the hell?
That was my
32
dog.
stone. That's a bit cheeky, isn't it? Right, Dublin Dave, thank you for coming on.
No worries.
Take care, pal. See you next week.
See you next week, mate.
Right, Canadian, get on with it. You and your big furnace. Careful, because you're going to burn your dog.
You hear that, Sydney? Yeah, I think it'll be three sign-ins for me.
3, right?
Center back, midfielder,
and
I think the last one will just be a random position. I'll go with another striker.
Cool. Right. Thank you very much for coming on, Ryan. As
welcome.
usual, great banter. I do love you, really.
I love you too.
Yeah.
The whole community's great.
Exactly. Take care, mate. See you next week, buddy.
Take care, guys. See ya.
Good night. He's a good one, is Ryan. Got a couple of super chats in. Forever on. Dublin Magpie is the greatest of all time. Check his Twitter. No, I hate his Twitter at the minute. I'm going to block him shortly. All them stupid face apps. Stephen, thanks for the £5 super chat, mate. Love you, Paul. My evenings have never been so entertaining. Well, thank you. I'll forgive you for your 32 stone comment now. Julie says, I'm ordering the candles now, Paul. Yeah. Whatever. Right, guys, that is the end of the fan forum for this week. The 3 of us will be back later on in the week. I don't know when yet, but just keep an eye on the the notifications on YouTube, Twitter account, all that good stuff, because we will be having a sort of a look at the transfer window further on in the week. Are we close to getting anybody? Are we really realistically in the hunt for players, or are we just saying, right, well, we're getting ripped off left, right, and centre, so it's not going to happen again. Simple as that. But we will wait and see. So keep an eye on Twitter for that. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, by the way, guys, please hit that like button for us. It helps us grow the channel immensely. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please do consider subscribing. A lot of people are coming back and watching the shows time after time after time again, but haven't hit the subscribe button yet. Do consider that for us. You can also consider becoming a member if you hit the join button, which is right next to the subscribe button. And also, finally, big shout out to the Toon Review sponsors, who are Geordie Riffs, local guitar company here in the Northeast, professional guitar repairs and servicing. If you go in with your guitar to be set up or repaired, they will give you a 10% discount. Or your first guitar lesson for free if you just quote the Toon Review when you go to see them. Give Graham and Natalie a big shout out. You can visit the website, which is down below in the description, and you can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. So massive shout out for Geordie Riffs for continuing the sponsorship of the channel. Guys, it's been a blast. Thank you very much for coming. Danielle, I can't hear you.
Apparently, we've now given up on Lingard, according to Sky Sports 2 minutes ago.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry about that. Anyway, have a good evening.
Yeah. Thanks for ending the show on such a high, Danielle. It's quite all right. Listen, I'm popping over to World of Sport TV now to join Baz and Jade and Billy. So hop over there if you want to continue to watch about transfer stuff. God knows what Baz's breaking news is. We've probably already had it on here because you know what he's like. But hey, I'll see you over on that channel very shortly. But in the meantime, thanks for watching the Toon Review tonight, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care, guys.
Bye.